Well, here we are again at the fourth AAC conference, and today we've had a session called The Future Today. It's been a really interesting session where we've talked about everything that's happening in the apprenticeship space right now, all of the sort of negativity around the levy that still exists, and we've tried to just raise the conversation into more of the positive agenda that's starting to now build around apprenticeships, the trends that we are starting to see upwards, the engagement we're having with employers and parents and apprentices themselves. And so around that we wanted to sort of start a different conversation, a conversation that was more about what does the future really hold, not just for apprenticeships but for skills on a much more broader global stage. Because when we think about the level of retraining that has to go on, not just in this country but across the globe between now and 2030, it is quite eye-watering. I mean, we're talking multi-millions of people who are going to have to retrain themselves to have to cope with the changing patterns in our workforce, to cope with artificial intelligence, more digitisation, and generally just the positive and other pressures that come with changing industrial revolutions. So that's very much what we've been debating today, and it's been great to have Keith with us, a futurologist. Keith has really presented some very, very interesting themes, and more importantly, Keith really presented the case for needing why we need to think ahead, why we can't just stay in the here and now of today, and we have to keep being positive and trying to look ahead. Even if some of those ideas sound a little bit crazy, sometimes you just have to go a little bit crazy in order to step back again and think about, well, what really will work here? And I suppose one of my messages for the sector that I also work with, and the sector who's represented here at this AAC event, is I suppose that I do sometimes think we do tend to just look a little bit too internally and inwardly. We tend to react to things once they're already happening as opposed to trying to predict what might happen. So I guess my challenge, and the reason that I wanted to design the session that we've held here today, was just to get the sector to start to think very different, reframe that conversation, and start to think about how we can positively disrupt the sector for the benefit of all of us, but most importantly, our future productivity and our future of our learners.